What's going on, guys? So, a lot of people seem to disregard certain facts for no reason whatsoever aside from what they want to believe. And I understand, right? Like, you have a way that you see the world and the things that you would do, the actions you would choose. And like in your personal relationships with other people, sometimes those other people do something that you would never expect them to do, right? Sometimes they do things, they betray you, they turn their back on you, they borrow money and they don't pay it back. Just they do things that you wouldn't have considered them for previously, right? Well, the world is a huge place, and there's so many different types of people. Every type of person, just think about your circle of people. And then all these people have different characteristics, right? And maybe a few of them are pretty similar and they're close and they're friends. But even in your own circle, it's super diverse, right? You have the worrywart, you have the person who don't care enough, you have the addicted shopper, you have the person who can't afford to buy groceries, you have the person with no kids, you have the person with too many kids, just people. And they make those choices. Choices are what your life is. Your life is full of choices, right? So, if you take those people and then you expand this out into the world, there's not a million circles just like yours. What it is a bunch of circles made up of people with certain characteristics, and everybody has different characteristics. So, to come out and say, this ain't no college kid that did this because a college kid would already have broke if they did this. You don't think there's some college kids that can lie to your face without breaking a sweat? You don't think so? That's that's a little immature. You can't dismiss anybody for anything. I believe that the suspect in the case is a male. I believe it because of the force it would take, but that's not to say that a female couldn't have done it. The idea that it couldn't possibly be a woman, you know, out the window. But is it likely to be a woman? No. But in the case, is it likely to be a college student? Hey, you're 50-50 there. College students are kids, but they're not kids. You could be almost any age in college, but when you're thinking of college students, when you're saying it's not a college student, what you really mean is it's not a young person. It's not what, 24 and below? Because that's around the ages of college. 24 and below. So, you don't think a 24-year-old person filled with rage during a crime of passion could go and do something like that and then not speak about it? Are we sure? Because I think they could. I think there's some 15-year-olds out there that could go and do it. I know some 15-year-olds out there that I wouldn't trust hasn't done something terrible and don't care. Never told anybody, never got caught for it, whatever. There are some terrible people in this world, and they come in all shapes and sizes and colors and genders and whatever else you want to apply. It's just the way it is. Um, I don't rule out anybody because, well, I don't think they would have done it. I rule people out based on like common sense to say, oh, if this person was so far away they couldn't have got there, they couldn't have done it. If this person has absolutely no motive and has given me no reason to believe they've done anything, I'm not thinking about them. If somebody has motive or opportunity or both, then you start like, hey, wait a minute, let me see if this person did it. It doesn't matter if they're 15, 25, 35, 45. What matters is, are they capable of doing it? How can you find that out? Go back through and look at their life. Look at the choices that they've made. What did those outcomes produce? Good outcomes or bad outcomes? Did they do smart things or did they do dumb things? Did somebody always reach down and help them back up? Or did they have to learn from those mistakes and build themselves back up? I try not to put my life experience on anybody else, but I've been through a lot of life experience. I'm only 35, but I've lived, it feels like, multiple simulations. And I know that sounds crazy, but just while you're a high school kid and you're in high school, you're a certain person. And then as you become an adult and learn responsibilities more, you become more of a man. And then as you grow through your bar hopping and club going days, you actually become a man, somebody who's trying to contribute to the world around them instead of just trying to consume it. Now, as you have a family and become a father and a husband, that's a whole nother level of life. During the time before I had kids or before I was married, I made a lot of risky choices. I did a lot of bad things. I never hurt people, but I hurt people. Like, I didn't physically hurt people in a sense outside of the random fight here or there that you're going to go through in life. But I didn't do things to hurt people, but the things that I did hurt people. I didn't understand that certain activities I would get involved in because it was profitable for me was not good for whoever the customer might have been. That's that's clear enough, right? I did stupid stuff as a child. But then I learned from those mistakes. I didn't have to get a record and go to jail. I just started paying attention to what was going on around me. And I fixed, course corrected, went the right way. Okay? So I feel like I do have experience in a lot of different situations from a lot of different perspectives. Because I've seen the world from being a, a womanizer, I guess, because that was really my first stage, teenager. Most of us are, right? Just all about girls, girls, girls. And then money, money, money. And then power, power, power. But now it's about family. It's about legacy. It's about my kids. It's about what they're going to have. So perspectives change, but I've seen it through a lot of different eyes. And you don't forget the life that you lived that got you to the point you are now. You don't forget it. So when you see things happening in it, like college parties, I did it. I was there. I know the atmosphere, right? So nobody can look at what we know about the girls from Idaho and say that they were living a life risk free. These things that they did, this is exactly what your mama told you about. Don't let strangers in your house. Definitely don't leave anybody at your house when you're not there. Don't go out with people you don't know that well. Don't hang out with people you don't know that well. But mostly protect yourself at all times. And when your house is an open party house where there's people there partying when you're not even home, when nobody that lives in the home is there, your stuff is open, people are free to roam around, people you don't really know and that don't know you are free to roam around. And then you throw in alcohol, you throw in attractiveness, you throw in sexual frustration from some guy who's there feeling like he has it so much harder than the pretty girls in the sorority. And you can end up with anything from a college student. You know what I'm saying? This is mainly for people saying it wasn't no young person. It was this had to be a full grown man. This had to be this had to be that. It was probably somebody in their 20s, possibly 30s. Possibly. It could be a random person that has nothing to do with the college. It could be somebody associated with the college. It could be a student at the college. But you can't say that it can't be. You can't profile it down and say it is not this. You just can't. Right? What we have to do is look at what we are given, the information, surroundings, the context, right? The context of the whole situation and say, is this unbelievable? Really? I don't see it as unbelievable at all. I see it as if these girls' parents knew exactly how free they were being with life, I believe their parents would have warned them, hey, this could happen because this is known. We know. It's not that the girls are, you know, wild or partying too much, or it's just certain things were not done. When I was 22, 23 years old, living on my own, no wife, no kids, no nothing, best friend as a roommate, girls coming over all the time, buddies coming in all the time. It wouldn't have been surprising to me for something crazy to happen, for somebody to get mad at somebody and hurt them way too bad. That wouldn't have been out of the realm of possibility in my mind at all. We had fights, you know. We had a lot of debauchery go on around that age. A lot of people do. Let me know what you guys think. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you get notified anytime I post. Have a great day, and we'll see you later.